Supposedly, this is the most depressing and banned anime of all time. Does this hold up? Is this real? Are you serious? Show us now. What's up, Fire Breathing family?
Oh, I forgot y'all can't see me.
She was doing this whole thing, you guys.
Gary, let's get it done. Welcome back to RET, where we put the reaction entertainment television. And if you are new here, thanks for joining us. Go ahead and subscribe. Get the video like. Drop the comment. Drop the comment.
See,
Climate change. Drop a clap down in the comments. And today, watch myself, Mochi, Goddess, and our producer Giri as we get into reacting to SpookyRice's take on Midori. Yeah. This is supposedly the most banned anime ever released, ever in life. This is their first time checking it out. Wow, I think Goddess kind of touched on this before, but you get to experience this alone. I can't even talk right now. I think I'm having a stroke. You get to experience this along with us. Let us know what you think in the comments, and let's go ahead and get into this now. Yeah. Bye-bye.
This anime is so extreme, so vile, it's banned worldwide. Shoujo Tsubaki. Well, the full title is Underground Projected Dramatic Pictures Shoujo Tsubaki. Class, get in your seats. Professor Spooky's ready to teach. You voted to see a video on Shoujo Tsubaki last video. Thank you. I love you for making my week very depressing. Shoujo Tsubaki means camellia girl, though shoujo is fine to describe this stock character. A girl, usually around 12 years old and completely innocent, used variously in kamishibai paper plays throughout the late 19th and early 20th century. We TikTok era turbo nerds know this stock character from this anime, which is a shot-by-shot semi-animation of a manga called Mr. Arashi's Freak Show. In both, the girl is named Midori, who is forced to live with a psychotic, brutal group of freak show acts who abuse and torture our innocent spirit. Viewer discretion is advised. Beware for anything. I'm showing you all YouTube will allow. If you want to see what happens, including all the messed up parts, stay tuned for the breakdown. Cue the Gohan.
I ain't gonna lie, this is really disturbing.
In a dark, dry room, a woman breathes her final breaths as her daughter roams the black streets of Tokyo to save her. Dark, gritty, and unforgiving, this is how Whitechapel must have felt in the 1880s. In the middle of that darkness is this innocent beacon of light known as Midori, hoping to sell her flowers to help her sick mother. Her father left them behind. This seemingly nice man she meets offers to buy all her flowers and tells her to go home as the bright moon watches with worry. Midori must hurry to mother to help her. There is little time left. Midori races through the skinny alleyways to tell her sick mother that this man will help her out. But sadly, her mother is already dead. Rats feasting and burrowing on her body. Now, the girl is alone. She must drop out of school and find the man who promised to help. Now, the time begins. Midori doesn't have much time left before she has nothing left. Reaching the address he gave, she meets the mean acts of this freak show circus, sweat dripping down and anxiety welling throughout her body as these people look at her up and down like a toy, a plaything. They assault her and even lick her eyeballs. Psychotic and greedy, they have Midori become a part of the show by biting chickens alive. What will happen? Will her life be ruined further? A blood moon tip-taps Midori awake to the sounds of threesome, and in the next room is even worse. The man who recruited her, Mr. Arashi, licking the eyeball of one of the young acts. The only friends Midori has is a group of puppies. She's their mommy and feeds and plays with them. Close your eyes now if you don't want to see them go to dog heaven. Unfortunately, once this freak show act pops up, this is all that remains of them. One of the most brutal scenes of the entire animanga. You can open your eyes now. Then, they all use the meat in the stew and laugh at Midori, who realizes she ate some of her dogs. She intensely cries out to the heavens above to take her to her mother. Later, she watches Kanabun here practice their fire style jutsu, but then sees that Kanabun is packing some meat. Kanabun assaults her after laughing in her face regarding the surprising meat reveal. She sleeps and dreams evil nightmares, hoping to return to her father. Her father carelessly eats, and Midori gets twisted and broken, painfully pressing for her father's help as a caterpillar and snake enter inside her. You'll never know happiness as a human being, they gloat to her. It horrifies her. She awakens with a fever and doesn't mind staying in bed for the day. This is villain Midori. A new act will soon join the group, but they hate Midori. They blame Midori for putting a jinx on them. Since she came, everything is coming to shit, and we're only 13 minutes in. Soon the new act comes, surprising the other members by squeezing himself inside a jar and just squeezing right back out. I was delighted. This is the first time she smiled ever. But the other members are a little jelly. Matsumitsu is his name, and he's Jesus level, suddenly forming a bird and a rose in her hand. Oh, and of course, he's illegally attracted to the youth around here, aren't they, y'all? Even if this is the old days. But Midori falls in love with him, the only man who isn't abusing or treating her awfully. Yet, he gives her some hope for brightness in a dark world, a world where she can gleefully glide through the flowers, never alone and always loved. How long will this happiness last? She excitingly exclaims to the heavens that she would be happy to marry him. Midori is Matsumitsu's new aide, and she and him are the most popular acts. But they don't like that. For bringing new money to the entire group, he's treated like the biggest, baddest bitch on the block. The Mummy Man's even more jealous. All while Matsumitsu and Midori get married. Seeing her happy, they can't stand it. They rush in and tell her to start washing their clothes, but she talks back and fights like she never did before. Courage and ferocity welling from her heart to her fist, ready to fight back. But the strong man grabs a hold of her and throws her to the ceiling, hitting her head. He throws her again, winding his throw, but suddenly Midori is giant, Mount Lady crushing the rest of the acts. But it was all a genjutsu. Matsumitsu's Western magic is powerful. He tells all the rest of the acts to do the chores, not my wife Midori. Midori travels to town and buys some candy, and suddenly the Mummy Man creeps behind her and tells Midori that he is in love with her. He walks away awkwardly, feeling successful, as if his weird statements steal Midori away from Matsumitsu. Suddenly, Matsumitsu places the Mummy Man in a genjutsu where he sinks through the sand. He sinks further into the ground, with Matsumitsu watching above, shouting that you'll never have my Midori. His broken body is found later, mud dripping out of his throat. Realizing Matsumitsu killed him, Midori races away, horrified. She saw how the Mummy Man really died, forcibly swallowing mud to slowly and painfully suffocate. You scare me, Midori shouts out to him, but he convinces her that it should have been done. The sound and feel of rain bouncing upon them both, not yet alone. Another day, Midori gets a visit. A filmmaker wants a Shoujo Sabaki to star in his new film as the starring role. Don't stay with these villains, he says. Come with me and you'll become a star. A star with a big, comfortable house and amazing food. But Matsumitsu rips the card and imprisons her for wanting to run away. During another show, he shouts and insults his audience, calling them lazy and greedy idiots. He unleashes his powers, destroying his audience from the inside out, twisting and contorting them like a devil shot out of hell, changing their shapes, deforming them in a display of power that humbles like you wouldn't believe. The police race to the scene, but nothing happens. Matsumitsu is passed out, and all of the customers who were twisted went back to normal, just mentally scarred for the rest of their lives. When he awakens, Matsumitsu quits the freak show act. Time is running out. Midori is later put in a genjutsu, traveling through the bowels of her mind to experience Tokyo again, running with glee and hope to return home, squeezing along the streets and sliding through the skinny alleyways. She takes in the environment and learns. She's finally back home. Her mother is alive and her father is home. Life is great for her. However, she awakens back when Matsumitsu, who wishes to leave the country with her. Meanwhile, Mr. Arashi, the boss, has run off with the money, leaving behind the other members. With nothing else, they wonder where they will go next, and Kanabun here begins to cut their hair for the next new psychopathic adventure. Speaking of adventure, Midori says her final goodbyes to her old abusers. Wow, it's crazy how a haircut changes you. Despite them abusing, assaulting, and almost killing her, she hopes to see them again one day. As the flowers rain above, Matsumitsu tells her to wait here. I'll go buy her something to eat. Is this the future? A new hopeful life for the innocent girl who was thrown to hell? Suddenly, while Matsumitsu is returning with the food, a thief kills a man in front of him. Not wanting to keep witnesses alive, the thief then stabs Matsumitsu genjutsu to death. This is all while Midori awaits him, but looking around, she can't find him. Racing through the streets, and he is nowhere to be found. It begins to seem as if she is in a nightmare, a genjutsu. She passes by this broken building various times, seeing the same man walk through and sneezing 3 times. Someone hit her with that Izanami Sharingan power. Soon, she begins to see the rest of the freak show act screaming at her and laughing. Horrified, she screams in terror and arms herself to beat them all, telling them to die, but they can't be stopped. They will always torment her. Midori will never be happy as a human being. She enters a void. It all becomes white, then she cries out. Time has run out. So basically, Matsumitsu died. She races to look for him, but his body is taken away, and she just begins to hallucinate out of fear, realizing she's alone again. Either that, or he puts her in a genjutsu, but the result is the same. She's alone. A tragic ending to a tragic story. This year, I've dreaded the fear of being alone. After my grandfather passed away in February, my grandmother held us all together. I remember driving to the hospital late at night where we saw his body. That hospital smell, the sound of machines beeping from the other rooms, feeling the heat slowly leave from his body. It was a tough night where my grandmother held us all strong. But sometimes I fear that I'll find her gone too, passed away in her bed, like how I saw my grandfather, and then I'll be alone. Sometimes I'll check on her and just watch her sleep to make sure I can still see her breathing.
Very quickly.
Stronger. She doesn't even have to do dialysis 3 times a week anymore. And shows me I shouldn't let my fears bind me down, that I should live with my head
made
high.
himself
My
the main
grandfather
character.
wanted me to live and do what I needed to do. So hold my hand, Midori. You're not alone with the SpookyRice crew. The story was Despair Food. Over 5,000 sheets of animation over a 5-year period was used to create what we just watched, all by one man, Hiroshi Harada, who not surprisingly worked on various Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts games. Remember, this is based on a manga created by Suehiro Mario. No wonder Weekly Shonen Jump rejected some of his dark work, which is often called contemporary muzane. Muzane were basically dark, grotesque ukiyo-e, which would inspire literally every piece of Japanese horror you've ever seen. Yeah, maybe that's where Muzan gets its
I was just thinking that.
This story walked so that My Chance Daily Life could run, and that's why you should watch this video on Wicked City. Wicked City is a really gory, crazy anime from the same time period. Think Men in Black with nudity and gore. You'll love it. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more messed up stuff. Thanks for watching. Spooky.
All right, so what you guys think?
That.
Wow. Okay. That was a lot.
Again,
That
I was
was a
into
lot.
it until
Yeah.
the thing, the
that
grandma
kinda-
thing.
It was already dark, and then it just got darker. So I'll just stick to the actual anime. I never want to hear about this anime ever again. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. There were so many disturbing parts, from the fact that she was a child to the fact that adults were like messing with her to the fact that she married literally a predator and was cool with it. Granted, yes, he did help her. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I was about to say debatable.
it was very debatable, but he was very controlling. You know what I'm saying? He helped her in his way of keeping her controlled within his reach. And I feel like it was trying to make a hero out of him because he ended up dying, right? And he was her way to quote unquote happiness. So it was like without him, she was not going to be happy. It was a lot of things in there that's just messed up. Just it's gross. It's a gross show.
And I understand why it was banned.
Yeah, I would. There's multiple reasons why it would be banned. I think that her being a child and her getting with this grown ass man should have been the main thing outside of just the abuse in general. Yes,
That's not why it was banned, girl. You know how Japan is.
Oh my God.
Okay, let me
That
be
whole
clear.
thing is just.
Let me be clear, Japan, before y'all come for me. We all know, Japan has age things are different over there. We get it. But I believe this was almost trying to justify in a way, if you get what I'm saying. It doesn't sit right in your spirit. It doesn't sit right in the heart. It just makes things very uncomfortable. I mean, I wish she would have fought back earlier for her own sake, but of course, someone like that character always needs a savior. Unfortunately, they did not make her the badass to fight back. She needed someone there to help her, and it was this old man. And now we don't know where she is because her life pretty much comes to an end because he's no longer a part of it. Wonderful, great story. Thanks so much for bringing that into the world like we needed it. I'm done. I have nothing else to say about the show.
Yeah, it was disturbing. That should have been on Disturbable Wing, huh?
Honestly.
Nah.
Yeah, that should have been on Disturbable Wing. That was disgusting.
It
But I
was.
told y'all from the beginning that was gonna be like, it's disturbing.
Did you see? You saw the way Gary had kind of the eyeball licking.
Oh yeah.
gonna-
I
That
was
was
trying to
disgusting.
understand that.
Girl.
Yeah, no.
I have thoughts. Is that all you have to say, Goddess?
I mean, Mochi be taking everything. You
I
know,
do. Go expound. 'Cause I
there's
didn't have a
nothing
lot
left.
to say.
There's nothing left to say.
I
but
didn't have a lot to say this
disgust-
time. I didn't.
It was disgusting though. I would not sit down and watch the whole thing. I think I've seen clips of it, if I'm not mistaken. Did I?
Probably.
Yeah.
Man.
But it is disturbing. And then the fact that she is 12 years old, it just makes my soul, ugh,
Yeah.
don't like it. I personally would not recommend that to nobody to watch. But
I agree
yeah.
with Goddess on that one.
What's worse? Because Goddess recently read a Sister Soldier novel. What's worse, that one or Sister Soldier?
Wait a minute. Well, can't say
What
I
you got?
never read them, but my mom has.
The one that I've read, I don't know. I just feel like children should be children, not like going out there and having sex at the age of 12 and 14 and
Nah, I'm with you. Yeah,
all
that's-
that other stuff. Like, it's
Trust
just,
me, that's not my argument.
It
Like, at all.
took me a minute to get through that book because the mama in me wanted to beat her ass, and not only that, her mama ass and her daddy ass. But yeah, things like that is kind of hard for me to watch.
Nah, Midori, that was solid. Solid piece of work. So this dude worked on it all by himself for 5 years.
As he
5,000
should.
pages. Hey, that's commitment to get that story out. You see, it got him a job at Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
I mean,
But do
Grand-
you ever sit there and wonder why they
package.
come up with that? Like, what's going on through your head?
Well, it's based off of
You
a
too.
novel, and then all he did was just brought it to life with animation.
No, it was based
But I'm
off of
talking about
manga.
whoever made the manga. Like,
There's a lot of fucked up ass stories out here.
yeah,
Like,
I know.
y'all
And I
forget-
be sitting there wondering, well, is that how they really be thinking? Like,
I don't know, man. I mean, I always go back to like It, the first It. I don't
not
read.
even that. Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, but motherfuckers be on one. But that was damn. I would want to know where it was all banned at, but I can imagine everywhere. But it was depressing. It was probably like the second most depressing shit, anime wise, I seen.
Gary, what about you?
Yeah, what do you think?
Okay, so what is up?
Not my chick.
Are you about to fetish shame, bro?
Don't you dare call it a fetish. That is disgusting.
About to fetish shame.
What's with the eyeball licking? Like, what
Shame
is
me,
it?
bro.
I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
You're not supposed to ingest ocular fluid. You're literally not supposed to do that. Like you
I'm new to that. What happens if you do that?
Yeah.
you can get an infection or something.
Oh shit.
Something that could set up. I can't remember.
What magic
you
scoop?
would also get a pink eye. You can definitely get pink eye.
I can imagine that.
I'm gonna expound more upon that.
But the
later on.
ingesting of ocular fluid, that's crazy. I didn't know you're not supposed. Not that I was planning to, but like I didn't know you just can't drink eyeball juice. This is nuts.
That's disgusting.
Why would you want to?
You don't want to,
Okay.
but the fact that you can get affected from it is just mad. It's crazy.
What
to
do
me.
you mean you can get a? Okay, anyway.
No, like that's just. I'm just saying that's a nuts thing. I just never put those two together and be like, yo, don't drink eyeball juice. Like what?
My elbow looked like a face.
Oh my god.
Do you see it? Oh, wait.
Anyway, the rest of it,
There it is. You
I
see
just
the
felt like they
nose?
were just torturing. It's like torture porn.
It's
low-key.
torture, son.
Yeah.
Like torture porn for the little girl, and it's like even from the beginning with her mom dying, and then it's like, yeah, she's covered in rats. Like the lady ain't been dead for, like, how long she been dead? Maybe an hour.
But they
Like,
can be in the poor side of town. You know, the rats they get to it quick.
I guess.
Oh
but,
my
like,
god.
They be like, come on
Speaking
over
of
here.
rats, no, okay, so I'm sorry, Gary, but this is one video I seen on YouTube, and it was in New York, and this homeless guy was laying on the ground covered with cover, and then this one dude was videoing, and then you see him walking up and the covers are moving, and then like when the guy moved, a whole bunch of rats just went running. Like the guy was still alive, but he was just like sleeping with rats in the subway. It was so gross. Like,
I mean, this is New York.
It's nasty.
Right. So
according to them, they all sleep with rats.
Damn.
See, that's why I would not want to visit New York.
Is that like the Tekashi 6ix9ine diss?
Oh, wow. No, I'm saying that, like, I don't know. I've always heard people from New York say, yeah, like, the rats are everywhere. You know, the rats. Like,
them things aren't rats. Them things are like
they dogs,
fucking dog. Yeah, this is nasty.
I don't think that when I went to New York for like
you can get it off
twice back like a few.
She said, "Pull it off her."
When I went to New York, I didn't even see no rats. I went there twice. I was in Times Square and I was in Queens. Took subways and all that. I didn't see no rats at the time. But I also didn't drink their tap water, nor was I outside like that.
So that would explain why you probably didn't see the rats.
I just didn't trust none of that shit.
I've been one time, and I don't remember necessarily a rat being like a big part of my experience, but I do think that like maybe somewhere in an alleyway, I was like, oh.
I know them rats be bold too. Be jumping at you like hop. Ooh, ew. Can you imagine walking, minding your business, and then a rat just start hopping to you? Like just...
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
I was like, man, so you got some cheese.
Goddess knows this story. So years ago, I was working as a security guard. And I was leaving my apartment. I didn't have a car, so I had to go catch the bus. But in order to walk to the bus, I had to cross like this field area. But I stayed on the concrete, right? And I'm passing by, and it's getting darker. But no, it wasn't a fucking field. It was a skunk.
Oh, whoa.
But I didn't notice until I got close enough. So I was like, what the fuck is that moving? It was black. I kind of seen the white stripes. And then I got like close enough where that shit got alarmed and that shit started running toward me.
Oh no.
And like I didn't do like I booked it, but it was like high knee booking. So I'm like And you know, those kind of situations you hope you by your fucking self. But like 20 feet away, it was like a motherfucker walking, laughing his ass off, hoping I got sprayed. Like,
no,
that shit was crazy.
That's hilarious.
Bottom line, I don't like critters. I don't fuck with critters. I don't like possums. I don't like the idea of none of these motherfuckers.
Man, things. I had a hamster. I'm glad you didn't meet them. That's messed up.
I mean, I'm not gonna stomp. If I met your hamster, I'm not gonna like stomp the shit out of your hamster out of a phobia. But things that possibly have a very strong case of rabies randomly running the fuck around, I don't want to fucking be around.
But don't you like raccoons?
I like the idea of raccoons.
Ew.
I like the idea of raccoons. The idea of a raccoon is fine.
No.
I don't want the motherfuckers around.
What's the ones? That. Is that a raccoon? The red brown ones?
No, that's
a red panda.
But are those really panda? They just named the motherfuckers.
They're in the same marsupial family. That's why.
Those are cute.
Those are cute. Yeah. No, I was gonna say if raccoons look like that, then fine. But
some raccoons look okay. They look like okay animals. I just don't fucking want them. Like I like orca whales, but I don't want to be in the fucking ocean with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like you fire from a distance. I'll watch you on TV. You do funny shit.
Raccoons are like big ass rats.
They're funny though. They be like
raccoons are funny.
They're like, I gotta clean my food first. You know, I gotta make it real nice and clean.
Rats
first.
do the same thing.
But I have yet to see a rat.
There's a rat that washes. You remember he washes his body?
There's a rat that was sitting there washing his body with soap and water.
But I was talking about food. I was
Stuart Little, girl.
Gary, what did you think about Midori? Finish the rest of your sentence, because you
just brought up the eyeballing.
Yeah, you brought up the eyeballs, which is sick.
The torture porn is what I was saying. I feel like it was torture porn. The whole thing was just set up to torture this little girl. Because even if these people are in a quote unquote freak show, and you know, at least what I've seen, or I mean, not that I know personally, I never seen no freak show, but like, you know how freak shows are typically presented. These people are outcasts, so they don't mistreat other people. They tend to be some of the nicest people.
Yeah.
So that whole scene, I mean, shitty people exist.
You ever seen the movie Freaks or heard about the movie Freaks?
pig together, pig in the middle. No.
No, not the black one. All right, so check this out. And back in I think it was like the 20s or the 30s. It was a black and white movie called Freaks. Y'all probably remember the chant.
One of us?
Yes. So it was a situation where it was a freak show. It had its leader and all this shit. And then this beautiful woman came out of nowhere and she started seducing the guy that was in charge. And I think she either was trying to kill him to take his money or take him away. Something happened. They got pissed and they turned her into a freak.
Oh.
So like that one of us, gooble gobble. Like, you ever heard that shit from like randomly passing? That's where that shit came from. And they like fucked her up. That shit used to freak me out when I was younger because I was like, damn, black and white movies is on like a whole nother level of horror. But like that one was like, oh shit, it was crazy how they like left her.
I mean, but she put it upon herself. She preyed on someone that was a part of their community. I would understand them retaliating. But this being a situation where people who are already outcast, because someone comes in, unless they were irritated by the fact that she wasn't like them in that way, like she wasn't necessarily categorically a freak.
That's probably why they bullied the fuck out of her.
If you look at this time period, she was an orphan. So technically,
she would fit
in
right
that
in.
society, she is.
But my thing is, why would they? Okay, I understand that they said that they got upset because when she came, everything went to shit, right? Then
that one person said that. I can't remember the name.
Oh,
was it the guy girl?
Yeah, I think so.
But then she started bringing money into it, and they still got upset.
I mean, you gotta look at it compared to how they look. She looks the most normal. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, I don't like this motherfucker.
Okay, but she's bringing the money.
But they hated old boy when he was bringing the money, but he was able to stand up for himself from the jump.
Right.
The one that she wound up being with.
I mean, think about it. You're coming into my space where I'm supposed to be making the money. I'm supposed to be the headliner. You're taking my position kind of thing. But also, Japan has a very weird... bear with me. Okay. Asian culture has a very interesting relationship with appearance politics. Indeed. And I think that played a part into why that I would think that possibly they kind of a love-hate situation. Like, you're beautiful and therefore it makes me feel like I'm inferior to you. And thus, out of that inferiority complex, I'm going to treat you negatively.
Is that I don't think that's an Asian thing. I think that's a worldwide
generally thing. But I'm saying culture. We're coming from a Japanese perspective. So if you know about anything about Asian culture, as far as Korea with their facial reconstruction surgeries, even Japan has a adolescent obsession. So girls will mess up their own teeth to look more juvenile.
How the fuck is that possible?
Literally, they get surgeries done on their mouths to make them less perfect, so it looks more adolescent. Yeah, there's.
I thought it was like, you know how people like when they get veneers, they file their shit down, but but the girls don't put the veneers on. They just walk around with little shark teeth.
No, if you talk about like crooked teeth or teeth that are imperfect, basically the fangs giving a highlight to basically like when you see a little girl, like how her mouth would be. Different cultures have a very different perspective on looks, and Asian culture, especially Japan, has a very weird obsession with youth, which is why it plays a part in this guy, these older adults preying on this child. There is something with them in innocence, but also defiling that innocence and not letting it breathe and live and come to be, because she was a kid. So they could have easily just taken her in, protected her, been like a safe haven for her, knowing because she had no other defense, right? Mm-hmm. Instead, she went from predator to predator. She went from physical and emotional abuse to somebody who is a grown-ass man coming in and being the protector, but also being an abuser in his own way. You're not going to let her get away from you. You're way older than her. And you know this, but you have and she's clinging to whatever is going to be. This is making me upset. It would.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to say something, but I'm going to mute myself so that it's not being recorded.
I do have a question over y'all.
Okay.
Right. At 12, because that's such a young age, like, would you be smart enough or have enough courage enough to be like, at any of those points of the abuse that they was giving her, to be like, you know what, I think I'm about to leave?
Well, she didn't have anywhere to go, so I think that.
But would you risk it?
No, because where am I gonna go?
At that age, I think I would have put up with the mistreatment.
I'm done with this conversation.
Like that man, I don't. That would have drew the line.
Yeah, that would. As soon as he came in and that shit happened, I would have left.
But then again, it says she fell in love with him because he was the only one that was nice to her.
But that doesn't.
I'm not justifying it, but like from her perspective,
I'm done.
from her perspective, it was like, this is like my light at the end of the tunnel type thing. I think what I would have done was finessed him. I'm just saying.
All right.
Let's leave.
You're not gonna finesse him.
All right, Cardi G for Gary.
No, like
Cardi
finesse
G.
him to like leave, you know? Like, let's leave. And then like...
Oh, you would have got on the bus without him?
Yeah. But
Oh.
she loved him. But the thing is, like, I mean, like how they eventually left, I would have wanted him to come with me, secure a home, all of that stuff. I start working a job and then...
You're a criminal.
How am I a criminal?
Because you're literally like, okay, he's a criminal, but I'm just saying, you're quite literally being like, I'm gonna finesse this person out of life.
No, I mean, look, at the age of 12, I have nothing. I have nothing. I have no one. This
I
man is trying
my money when I started getting money there in the first place.
Oh, I didn't know
I
she
ran off
wasn't-
with the money. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have let this man, you know, move me out of this situation to where we get into a better situation. I said I would have got a job. You just started talking over
My
me.
bad.
I would have got a job and left him and then started doing things on my own. But in order to get out of that situation, I need this person because he's the only one. That's why I say I would have finessed him out of that to get out of that situation, and then I would have left.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what I would have done. I know that I have a mouth on me, so I'm probably not gonna stand up much for abuse. So that shit ain't gonna happen. Also, you old. I don't like you that much. You with grandpa, I'm gonna remind you every single day that your dentures are probably gonna come out your mouth at some point while I'm still gonna be pristine. Sir, no.
You say that until you're in a situation where it's survival.
Shut up, Gary. Stop being realistic.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
I don't know, BDC. I don't know how I would respond. I'm just being honest. I don't.
I just had to ask because I know we about to end this soon, so I
Yeah.
just had to question that. But nah, I've been dealing with SpookyRice. Let me get back to that guy. I've been watching that dude for years. If you are a fan of like disturbing movies, but you just want the cliff notes right quick in an entertaining way, then definitely watch him. Especially like his old stuff. His old stuff was fire. But definitely check his channel out for other stuff. It doesn't have to be anime, but he got like a ton of the other band stuff. If you mess with it, check that out. Thank you so much, Spooky.
Yeah,
Big fan,
and also
dude.
Spooky. No, T. We didn't mean to come off kind of weirded out by your story. We just didn't see the
That was
correlation
super
at the
left
time.
field, man.
It was. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I wasn't looking for a connection at the end. I was just like,
I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm not saying I'm sorry that you lost your grandparent. I really feel bad, but when we were like, oh my God, it wasn't because it just did not correlate at the time.
It just caught everybody off guard.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry for your loss.
Our
But,
condolences, brother, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Did anybody have anything else to add in?
No.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for viewing this. Again, shouts out to Spooky. With us, remember, you like, subscribe, leave a comment down in the chat, all that great stuff. You like what we did here? Check out these videos below. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Later.
Bye.
Bye.